What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be starting the little remodel of Dylan's room here in the back of our 28BH.
Yep.
It's been great. It's worked out well.
Yep.
But now he's getting a little bit bigger, and he's wanting to have a little more space to do some things in his room. The bed's set up in the 28BH, and the way they have the closet and everything in here is not really, doesn't really give you a whole lot of room to do much in here, other than you have this little floor space right here, and then you have the bed.
The bed space is nice for the bed.
The bed space is great. We talked about in a previous video. We took the top bunk out, so
yeah,
we did that right when we purchased it. So he's got a lot of bed space here, which is nice. But as far as being able to utilize this area, you can't really do it. So our plan is we're going to pull this closet and this whole section out, take some things off the walls, take the TV out. He doesn't ever use the TV, so it's going to come out, and we're going to kind of redo this whole area. We're going to add some shelving in here for him, and we don't really have a really locked in plan.
Right.
We
did have like a general idea. We wanted it to be I wanted to be a gamer, and that's like the general idea though.
Yeah, we have a general idea what we're wanting to do, but the first step is to get all this stuff out, see what kind of space we have. I do already know that we can't take this bottom section out, so I pulled this bottom drawer out and I looked under here, and the floor only goes back so far, and then it's open underneath there back to where our plug and everything for our 50 amp hookup comes in. So this is going to stay, but this whole top wardrobe closet is going to come out, and then we're going to take the stuff off the wall. So we're going to get started doing that. We'll show you guys what's involved in removing this closet, and we'll redesign this room just a little bit for him.
I'm so excited! There it is. It's gone.
So now we've got the drawers out, and you can see how everything's attached to the back wall back here, and then this piece goes all the way back, all the way to the wall. So we're just going to take this top section out, remove those screws, and then there's some screws on the inside also that are going to come out.
It's happening. That sounded like a bad one. That sounded like that's good and not want to come out. And it's about to be gone. It's about to come out. And it's about to be finally gone. And it is officially out of the room.
Alright, so we've got the closet out. You can see how much room this opens up in here.
Yes.
Obviously now there's nowhere for him to hang clothes. So what we did, we made some room in our closet. We made some room in the bathroom closet area. Did some reorganizing in there. Got rid of some stuff that we never use. We don't have a tremendous amount of clothes. We try to keep it pretty simple. So we're going to move some of his clothes in there. That way we don't have to worry about storing clothes. Now he's still going to have a drawer for storage here. We've still got this bottom drawer down here for storage for him as well.
Yes.
So I didn't take all the storage away. Just took a couple of the drawers, and really all we had was clothes in there. So we made some arrangements to move those. But you can see how much this opens up this room. I mean, versus having the closet here.
He can almost stand up in that. He can almost stand up in that.
So a lot of things might have fell apart in this RV down the road eventually. Who knows? But
yeah.
one thing they make sure ain't gonna come out is that closet. That's all the screws. That's all the screws that were holding that one closet in.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so many screws. Every time I thought I had them all out, I'd find one or two more. So, lots of screws, which is good. It was secure in there. It wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. So, if we didn't plan on taking this out, it would not have been going anywhere soon.
So, the only other thing we have to address now is down here. So, the closet set up against this. So that area is now open down to where our power cord comes in also. So I'm probably going to take a piece of the paneling off of that closet we just removed, cut a piece of paneling and put it in here, pop a couple screws in it just to seal that back off so that's sealed up. Alright, so we've got our big closet out here.
Yep.
That opened up a nice big space for us. So the plan is to put a desk in here and then a chair for him to sit in at the desk. So what we found on Amazon was a floor style gaming chair. So it's got a base down here on it. This is the smallest one that we could find. So what we're going to do is actually notch out the mattress so that this chair will sit all the way down on the base under here. So the chair will be sitting all the way down, and then once that's in place, we can have him sit in there, we can get some measurements, and then figure out how big of a desk we can put in here for him. So he'll still have his whole, the rest of his double bed. A lot of this stuff is just going to be put up. So stuffed animals going up in one of the stuffed animal nets up high, and then this chair also folds down.
Yes, that's what we really like about it.
So once this is down inside where inside the mattress after we notch it, then it won't be sticking up nearly as high. So we're going to give it a shot.
Yep.
So I'm just going to mark the mattress. I'm going to take a razor knife and try to notch it out. Got this mattress cut. There's our block removed. So I'm going to clean up all this foam, set the chair down there, see how it looks. It's down pretty well.
I like it. I can see myself playing on my computer right here. I like it. And I definitely think my dad did a good job on this.
Alright, so that's what it's going to look like. We got the cover back down. So the chair will just sit right in here in this opening. And then when it folds down, it barely sticks up. So we're going to go ahead and put the sheet back on. And then we'll put the chair in. The chair sits in there nice. Fits in there real good. You can see when it's folded down, it doesn't stick up much higher on the bed. You still got his whole bed up there to lay in. So still has a lot of bed space. Alright, so went down to Lowe's, picked up some 1x2s, and I got this kind of framed out. So I've got a little mock-up here of what I'm thinking. So I've cut my 1x2s to build a little frame in here. I had Dylan sitting in his chair and got some measurements. This is what we're going to use for the desk top. This is actually a leftover piece from a closet organizer, like a closet shelving kit. So we've got this. So essentially it's going to go right on top, and then that's going to be his desk area up here. Also picked up a couple of hinges. So I'm going to use these hinges underneath here. So this will actually be hooked to the hinges. So These will attach here. Oops. These will attach here. That way the desk will swivel up. Also picked up a latch. So we're going to use this on the bottom side of the desk. That way, when we pivot the desk up, if we want to pivot it up and lock it in place, we'll figure out something up here to where this latch will lock in place. I kind of got some of these, idea kind of started formulating in my head based on what we saw when we were looking at fifth wheels, and how some of them will have the top bunk that folds up and latches in place. That's kind of where the idea for this came from. So I'm going to go ahead and get this all attached to the wall. I've got some new screws that we're going to use to put all this in. You know, I'm not a real big fan of putting holes on our fifth wheel wall, but when we took that closet out, there's already a bunch of holes back there where they had that thing screwed in. So I'm going to go ahead, get this attached to the wall, and then from there we'll get the top on. All right, it's coming together. I am by no means a construction expert. I feel like I'm pretty well versed in a lot of things. Building things like this is not really my strong suit, so if I'm doing something that maybe you wouldn't do, well, then don't do it that way. But this seems to be working out good for us. We have very, very, very limited space, so had to get a little creative. Maybe not the ideal way you would do it if you had more space, but you know, for us, I really think this is going to work out good. So I've got the hinges mounted, so we're going to go ahead and attach these. Our frame is very, very sturdy, so the screws I'm using are these Power Pro, and they screw into, they're good for penetrating wood, metal, plastic. So I got these because there are metal beams behind here, the frame of the fifth wheel, and I didn't want to have to try to drill pilot holes to get screws in there. And these things, you know, they hold in wood, they hold into the metal, so I can go straight in without having to drill pilot holes or anything like that. You can see they got a star head. It comes with the bit that you need to put the screws in, so you don't have like a Phillips head bit where it's trying to strip out all the time. So these are really, really excellent screws. There we go. So yeah, that's nice. It's going to work out very, very well. You know, obviously we don't have a brace on this side because with Dylan's chair sitting right here in this spot, we need to have access for him to get in and out. So my only concern with this design is that over time, with too much weight sitting on here, this would start to warp and then not sit down flat without having anything supporting this side. But I guess we could always come back and readdress that at that time if that started to be an issue. But all he's really setting up here is, the heaviest thing that's going to be up here is his laptop. That'll sit up here. But other than that, there's nothing heavy that's going to be sitting on here. So I'm hoping that since we got some pretty heavy duty hinges, these are gate hinges, so hoping since they're pretty heavy duty that it'll kind of help support the weight a little better. Alright, so here it is. Got the chair in place. You can see it's kind of a small area, but you know, there's room for the laptop to come up, room for his mouse. So you know, it is a small area, but he's been playing and on the computer, just sitting on his bed with the computer on the bed, and you know, he sits there all hunched over all the time. So at least this will give him a little more of an area to do some things. He can sit in here and do his schoolwork. He goes to his coins a lot. He looks at all his coins, so he can get his coins out. Just gives him a little area that's not out in the living area to do his thing in here. So next thing I'm going to do is put this latch on. So like I showed you, we got this latch, and my goal with it is to keep this up so it doesn't fall down. Obviously he's going to have to fold this up to get in and out of here, but so we'll figure out where the best place to put that is. Alright, that's how we're going to hold the desk up with our latch. It's to keep the desk from, it's not designed to hold the desk, this top tight against the wall. It's just designed to keep this from falling down. So fold it down. He's got a desk area. Push it up. And now it won't fall on him when he's trying to get in and out. The desk's working out really good. After watching Dylan use the desk a little bit with it down, kind of what I was concerned about was this front corner right here, not having any support. You know, if he's leaning on it, writing or something like that, it wouldn't take a lot of pressure to warp this top. So I definitely don't want that to happen, and I don't want any extra pressure, you know, on here or back here on these hinges. So what I've come up with is I'm going to put a hinge here. I'm going to put a brace on the front of the desk, on that front corner. So basically what's going to happen, I'm going to attach this leg onto the hinge. That way this will swivel down, and then we'll have a front leg support here. So that way top of that desk is going to be solid. If he's leaning on it while he's writing or something like that, it's not gonna warp, you know, the top of that, the top of the desk. So I wasn't sure if we were going to need that, so then when you swing it up, it'll be up out of the way. So I wasn't real sure if we were going to need that or not, but after seeing the way he uses it, the way he sits up against it, he was doing some of his schoolwork on it, kind of got his elbows up on it writing, you know, not intentionally pushing down on it, being careless or anything, but just from normal use. So definitely a lot easier to add something like this right now while I've got everything out and we're kind of working on this. So that's going to be the goal today. I'm going to get this leg put on. We're going to get all this stuff painted, and then also going to add a shelf. Across the top up here for him. So that's going to be the goal today. Shouldn't be too bad to do. I've got everything I think that I need, so show you guys how it turns out. Alright, so we got everything taped up, taped off, ready to paint. So now I'm going to go ahead and get all these painted in here, get this edge painted, and then once we get all that done, then I'll come in here and we'll get our shelf put in. So we got it painted. It was such a small area, such a tiny amount of paint that needed to be done. That's why I just taped it off. I hit it with a spray can. I found a color that was as close to this top and there's shelves that we're going to put in as I could find. It's like a coffee bean color, so really, really dark. Looks like it's going to end up matching up really close. You know, if it was anything more than just these few supports that I had to paint, then I would probably got some regular paint, brushed it on. But just in the interest of time, you know, hitting these things with a spray can, a lot faster. It's not out in the open where everybody's going to be seeing it, but it will make it match a little bit better. Obviously, ventilation is a huge issue when you're going to use any kind of spray paint. So, got all the windows open here. We've got all the windows in the trailer open. We've got our max air vent fan on high, and we're going to bring in another fan just to kind of help air it out. But you know, it took me 2 minutes to hit all this. You know, just to hit this with a spray can. So, not a tremendous amount of spray paint in here. But we'll let that dry. Get all this tape off, and then we're going to come back to our hinge, put our leg on, and I'll show you how that turns out. All right, so here we go. Here was the vision that I had to make this work. So, all right, here's what we got. The idea is it will swing down, and now we have a leg out here on the corner to really support this desk. So now, as he's leaning on it, writing on his computer, whatever, this will have some support and be a lot more sturdy. So then we swing it up, comes up, and I think I'm going to attach a little piece of Velcro on the back right here, so this leg will just stick right there. So if we're traveling with it in the up position, this leg won't just beat around. So now onto the shelves. All right, so the shelf is in. There's our shelf. It's kind of what I had in mind. You know, putting something up here. We've got a nice bracket here. Let's see if you can see that. So, put a nice bracket in here, and then I just used some L brackets over on this side. Unlock it. So, here's what it looks like underneath. We got our little stub sticking out to lock the desk lid up. L bracket in the corner to support this. L bracket here, and then our little more decorative bracket out here on the end. So I actually got two of these. Couldn't end up using it because of how close the desk comes up. Obviously can't use that on the other end, so just went with the L brackets. These L brackets are actually the L brackets that come off of the valance that was above the shades. That's what those L brackets are from. But so that's the desk area. Desk area is now complete. I actually added a little piece of Velcro down here so that this leg wouldn't just flop around there. Don't plan on having this in the up position. I think when we travel we're going to have it down, but while it is up, didn't want that leg just banging around, so I put just a little piece of Velcro there on it, so it'll just kind of hold itself there. But that's it for the desk. So pretty happy with the way it turned out. We're gonna finish putting some signs up here for him. He's got some signs that we're gonna put on the wall. Got his LED lights all up for him here. So as soon as we get all the signs up, we get everything done, cleaned up, we will show you guys the final product. All right, I think that's it. We got the shelf all completed. I've got all his wiring all squared away and in little wire clips to keep everything as neat as we can keep it. We've got a file folder here that we've got hung up to keep coloring books. He's got a little writing pad in here, some of his coin collecting books that he likes to access real quick all the time. So that's going to hang here on the wall. We got his gamer signs hung up. So it's that's pretty much it. I'm really happy with the way this turned out. You know, again, I'm not the best carpenter in the world, but I really think this turned out really well. I'm really happy with it. So we'll give you guys a little look around, and we'll get Dylan's thoughts on his new room. So there we go. Here's a shelf. There's a desk in the folded up position. And Dylan's going to give us a demo of how he gets all set up there. What you think?
I love it. And again, small space. I think we maximize this space out.
All right, you want to give us a tour of your room?
Sure. All right. So my area with my coloring books, my notepad, a couple of coin collecting books I want to be able to access real quickly. Yeah, and we ordered some stuff off of Amazon, so mouse bungee, headphone stand, and light up a Fortnite llama light. But what I really like is what my sister gave me. Yeah, she gave me these crazy LED lights. Just with the tap of a button, can turn them off, can make them flash, they can fade, and they can do all sorts of things. They can be in a lot of solid color. Alright, so that's the game room side. Next is the disc golf side. So I have a ton of discs right here. These are all the ones that are in my immediate bag, but so those are pretty much the ones I go through all the time, but I still want to have them handy if I want them. And then some of my favorites are on the wall. And my dad made this super cool shelf to put them all on. Alright, so here's how it works. I just slip into my gaming chair, but the desk has to be down. It's a fold down desk with a lock and unlock. This comes out right here. This is a pretty cool part.
So in here along the shelf, I use these little, this is his mouse bungee. That's going to come down when he's ready to play. We use a computer. Mouse bungee goes back there. I use some little wire clips to hold everything in place to try to keep it as organized as we could. He's got the headphones. And then up top, his headphone stand.
Yep.
Same thing, little wire clips to hold everything in place just to try to organize some of these cables so they don't get out of control. As far as the functionality of the desk, I really like it. Super happy with it. He's all set. He's got room now. So all in all, super happy with the way this turned out. Not a whole lot you can do with the 28BH rear bunk. You're really limited because of the size of the bed, because of the way they did the floor underneath. But I think given the limitations that we were working with, we really come up with a really nice setup for him. And you know, we're very, very happy with it. He likes it a whole lot.
Yes.
So that's gonna do it. You know, if you guys have any questions about how we did any of this, we'll leave links below in the description to everything that we used to complete this job. And that's gonna do it for now. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.